Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 17 of this, the 2017-2018 Premier League season. Before we get on to this week, of course, let's have a look back at the last 2 weeks because it was a very congested fixture list over the past week or so. So Nathan, let's just go back over week 15.
So for week 15, I had a disastrous week. I had 4 points with no correct results, or no perfect results, I should say.
And for week 15, I had 6 points. I had one perfect score, which was the Bournemouth victory over Huddersfield, which was 2-1.
Looking at week 16, I had 7 points, pretty good week for me. And that week, I didn't have any perfect scores.
But 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, which is pretty good for me, I'd say.
Yeah, and I had an absolute mare of a week. I just had 4 points and no perfect scores. So overall now, Nathan, you've got 116 points and I've got just 10 more, 126 points. Looking in the comment section for week 15 with a brilliant score of 15 points, that was Photius Panagiotopoulos. You say that? Photius Panagiotopoulos. Photius, congratulations. I think you've actually been top scorer in the past as well. And for week 16, it was Brummy Steve with a very good score of 11 points last week. Now, overall, throughout the comment section, and us included, it wasn't a massive scoring week, was week 16. For those of you playing along in the Fantasy Football League, here is the top 10. And once again, in top spot is Amplifleur, managed by Congratulations to you. Top scorer of the week last week was with an absolutely fantastic score of 111 points, was the team called The Master, and they're managed by Michael Adi Ojo. So Michael, congratulations to you on such a brilliant score. Looking at us though, Nathan, we didn't fare as well as Michael, but you had 93 points, which actually moves you up to 49th position, and I had 82 points, which moves me up to 46th position, so we're catching up slightly with that, with the top 10. But enough of last week, let's crack on with a two-footed challenge into week 17.
So first up, we have Man City versus Everton. Now, Man City losing their first game against Chelsea. I didn't think they played well. Of course, you have the whole situation during the game with Raheem Sterling. I'm not going to dive into that. But Everton, sort of okay form. They've drawn their last 2 games against Newcastle and Watford. Didn't expect them to draw against Newcastle, but sort of running
into home as well.
Yeah, at home as well. Last 2 games at home, they have run into a brick wall. I think it's going to be a close game. But I think it's going to be another loss for Everton, and that will extend their run to no victories in 4 games, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Man City.
I think it's going to be a bit more comprehensive than that. I think Manchester City, Pep's going to have them fired up for this one, particularly after that defeat against Chelsea. They are in Champions League action this evening against Hoffenheim. I think they've already won that group unless something disastrous happens, so they'll probably rest a few players, and I can see them being at full strength against Everton, and I can see Manchester City winning, as I said, comprehensively 3-1. Next up, we got Crystal Palace against Leicester. Crystal Palace losing their last 2 matches away, of course. I think that bad form is going to continue this week against the Foxes, and I can see Leicester carving out a narrow 2-1 victory here. Interesting, yeah. Leicester been playing okay recently. They did lose last time around to Tottenham, but they haven't been playing well. They did get that 1-1 draw with Fulham. For Fulham, they probably consider that a really good result, but I don't know. Palace have been on terrible form recently. I think Roy is going to get himself into a bit of trouble, and his job could be at risk in a few matches' time if their poor run of form continues. I think Leicester are going to go to Selhurst Park, very tough place to go to, and carve out a 2-1 win, like you said. Next up, we have Huddersfield versus Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle had a fantastic November, winning 3 games against Watford, Bournemouth and Burnley, but since December's come around, they're just free-falling. You could say the same really about Huddersfield as well.
with poor old December form. It's sort of the two clubs that are going into free fall at the moment because they just can't win in December. But I think it's going to be a close game, and I think Newcastle are just going to edge it at the end.
Really?
They're going to go to Huddersfield and edge it at the end. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Newcastle United.
Okay, yeah, I can't see Newcastle winning this one, but I can't actually see Huddersfield. I was looking at this fixture, and it's one of the toughest fixtures to predict this week, so I'm just going to go stalemate. I think it's going to end up 1-1. Both teams don't score that many goals, so it could end up 0-0 this one, a ball draw, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this fixture. Next up, we've got Spurs against Burnley. Spurs going away to Barcelona last night, carving out a 1-1 draw. You could say they were a little bit fortunate to get through the Champions League, the next round, particularly, Inter Milan just drawing. So they're going to be in confident mood after going through to the next round. In this match against Burnley just above the relegation zone. They did get that fine win at last week against Brighton. Brighton, a bit of a tough cookie to crack. However, I think Spurs are going to be way too strong for Burnley, and I can see this one being a comprehensive 3-0 victory, and we'll probably see Son, who's in a fine run of form at the moment, grab a goal or two.
Interesting. Yeah, I think Spurs are just going to absolutely outrun Burnley. I have gone for a 3-0 victory just like you. Next up, we have Watford versus Cardiff City at Vicarage Road. Cardiff, really, really good at home form. Won their last 3 games at home. Really a fortress at the Cardiff City Stadium. Not the same away, though. Only 1 point this season coming from away matches.
That was against Huddersfield.
Yeah, that was against Huddersfield as well, which we should have beaten 3-0, in my opinion. But just with the chances we had that we just didn't take. But yeah, I think this match is very doable to get a draw. But yeah, it is doable to get a draw, actually. I think that Cardiff are going to be able to do it. Watford only a few places above us in free fall at the moment, haven't won in over 6 games, and I think it is going to be a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, really?
Yes.
Right, okay, well, Watford put up a good showing against Everton. They only conceded very late on against Everton when they were 2-1 up. It's going to be a tough Cardiff. They are finding their feet now in the Premier League, albeit at home at the moment. Maybe against West Ham, if I think we mentioned in the last video, if that goal had gone in, that penalty, then it would have been a different story, perhaps, at the Olympic Stadium or London Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Going away from home, I think Cardiff, their defence, they're shoring up those leaky holes at the back. Maybe away from home they will concede 1, but I think they're a little bit more streetwise now, Cardiff, and I can actually see them, like you said, going away to Vicarage Road and carving out a draw in this one. Score draw. I'm going for 1-1 as well. Next up, we've got Wolves against Bournemouth. Wolves having a good couple of good results recently. They came away last time out against Newcastle with a late goal from Doherty, or I think it's Doherty. So they're going to be full of confidence. Bournemouth losing, demolished by Liverpool. So they, Eddie Howe is going to have them fired up for this one. Want to get back to winning ways. They are in 8th position, having a great season, really, you could say. But overall, I think this game is going to be an exciting match. Even though Wolves, they are a bit defensive at times, but I think this one's going to end up in another draw. I'm going for 1-1 in this fixture.
Interesting. Well, I completely disagree with you, frankly. I think Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth are going to go to Molineux, and I just think Eddie Howe is tactically going to think about how Wolves play. I just think I can't see Wolves winning this match, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a 2-0 victory to Bournemouth.
An away win.
Away win for Bournemouth,
okay.
Yes. Next up, we have the half-life kickoff between Fulham and West Ham. Now, Fulham, since Ranieri has come in, he's sort of picked up some form with the Cottagers, but really, if you look at their fixtures, they have had a poor run of form, but arguably, Leicester, the match against Leicester was a good result for them, you could say, really, but coming up against a West Ham team who seem to be playing extremely well at the moment, I cannot see Fulham winning this game at all. I think it's going to be a 1-0, very narrow though, away victory for the Hammers.
Well, Fulham do score goals. West Ham are in, I think they've won 3 on the bounce now, so they're going to be full of confidence. Anderson in the middle.
Felipe Anderson's doing,
in midfield.
magnificently.
Midfield, very, very good. Fulham, they do score goals though, and there's going to be a good atmosphere because it is a London derby, even though it is going to be the happy clapping from the Fulham fans, which is a little bit embarrassing. Guys, come on, get rid of those clappers.
And Bournemouth as well.
Bournemouth as well, but yeah, come on, Fulham fans. But yeah, I can see West Ham getting their 4th victory on the road. It's going to be a good open match, this one. You know, Fulham, they're renowned for playing good football, but I haven't actually seen that much great football from them this season. But I can see the Hammers winning this one 3-1 because the Fulham defence, Ranieri's come in and he said he's going to shore up the defence, but it hasn't happened as yet. It's particularly last week against Man United where they put 4 past them. Next up, we got the first of the Sunday kickoffs, and this is Brighton against Chelsea. Chelsea, of course, beating the champions-elect Man City last weekend, and I can see them going down to the South Coast and carving out a narrow 1-0 victory in this fixture.
Well, I completely disagree with you. I think they're going to go to the South Coast and demolish Brighton.
Yeah?
Yeah, Brighton in 13th though, bit of cagey form, I'd say. Or they've had a good run, but I think they're going to start to drop now, and I think it's going to be a 3-0 win to Chelsea. Okay,
even though I think Chelsea, are they in Europa League action tomorrow?
Yes, they are in Europa League action, I believe. They are playing against a team called Vidi FC. I have no idea where they're from. Put it in the comments, guys. Tell us. Educate us. We need to know about this. But, yeah, 3-0 to Chelsea. Next up, we have Southampton versus Arsenal at St Mary's. First home game for Rolf Hasenhüttl, whatever his name is. But Southampton, he hasn't had a good start. Losing to us, Cardiff.
He only had a couple of days, so, you know.
He had a couple of days, but I gotta be honest, that's the worst team I've seen play at the Cardiff City Stadium this season.
Oh, I don't think so. I think possibly Burnley, who beat us. We should have beaten them.
Yeah, we should have beaten Burnley.
Newcastle weren't that great either, but...
yeah, we could have put quite a few past Southampton, personally. Maybe about 3 or 4.
I don't think... No, I thought they played quite well second half, Southampton.
Yeah, first half then.
Yeah, well, we should have scored 4 but didn't take chances, so...
Yeah. But anyway, Arsenal, great form. Haven't lost in over 6 matches. If they don't win a match, then they will get at least a point out of it. I can see Arsenal going to St Mary's and destroying Southampton. It's going to be a 4-0 victory.
Yeah, I agree. I think Arsenal are going to... You know, they're not going to romp home in this match. I think, you know, Hasenhüttl has had this week to work with them, and he did say he's going to work, or it's been known that he's going to be working on the defence, aside of the tactics to shore up that defence. So I think Arsenal are going to go away there and win 2-0 because the likes of Lacazette and Aubameyang they're lethal at the moment. The final fixture of the weekend is what some people are calling the biggest match of the weekend, which is Liverpool against Manchester United. Liverpool, top of the league, through to the next round of the Champions League. Manchester United, they're playing this evening, should be going through to the next round of the Champions League as well. Liverpool, at the moment, Salah is back on form. He scored a hat-trick last week, scoring in Europe as well. And I think because of that, I think Liverpool are going to narrowly beat the Red Devils in this one 2-1, but it's going to be an absolute humdinger of a game. Yeah, I think Liverpool are just going to absolutely dominate this one. Man United, they've had some alright form. Just drawing a lot recently, though.
Yeah, theatre of draws, but if you look at it, they're drawing against teams such as Palace and Southampton.
Yeah, away from home though, wasn't it? Or was it Palace was at home though?
Yeah, Palace at home, but I just can't see Man United having a chance in this one. Mind we've got the next week, which I can't wait for a win in that game. You know what I'm predicting next week, but anyway, I can see this one being a 4-0 win.
4-0?
4-0.
Really?
Yes, it's Anfield.
And do you think Salah will score those 4?
I think he'll score 2, I reckon.
2, right, okay.
2 to Salah, 1 to Mane, and if he plays, of course.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit tighter than that, because it is that sort of northwest derby. and they're going to be going hammer and tong. But yeah, you say 4-0, I say 2-1.
However, they do say Anfield atmosphere is a myth, though. So
yeah, but for these type of games, I think it's going to be up there. But any other time of the year, been a lot to be desired. So sort your atmosphere out, Liverpool fans. Sorry, guys. I probably, you know, against Napoli, it did sound good though. Anything else you'd like to add before we go?
Yes, because Mark Hughes got sacked before the last episode. Who do you think is going to be the next person to go, or do you think we've had it for a while?
I think we've had it for a while. Mourinho, I think he's gonna, you know, he'll be there to the new year. You probably have that transfer window now, unless something disastrous happens or there's a massive falling out or something.
Or if we beat them 5-0 in the next fixture.
Possibly, yeah. Burnley, they did get that victory last time out, but if they, you know, I think I said in the last video, it could be Sean Dyche's time could be coming up if they're at bottom, but you never know.
Because he brings teams back up immediately. But they kept him on last time. They got promoted or got relegated from the Premier, and he brought them straight back up. But one that I'd like to focus on really is Woy. Yeah, I think he's going to, if he doesn't start to win games consistently or get more than, I'd say, one or two wins in the next 6 games, and maybe drop into the relegation zone, then I think he will be in a lot of trouble. And what's his name? Parish, I think, is the owner, or some chairman or whatever. Steve Parish, I think he's going to press the panic button on him. Okay, fair enough. So that concludes our predictions for week 17. Remember, as usual, I'm going to leave a template in the description of this week's fixtures. All you need to do is copy and paste them into your comment. And like Photios and Brummy Steve in the last couple of weeks, you two can get a shout out in the next video. Remember, it's 3 points for a perfect score, 1 point for a result, and 0 for nothing else. Remember, guys, no editing after the party. Yes. All right, or you will be disregarded from the counter. But for now, guys, thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you in the next video.